But yeah, so what do you got next, man?
Me and you have this movie together.
All right, yeah, we do the intro.
The next film we're going to talk about is 3,000 Years of Longing. It stars Idris Elba and Tilda Swinton. It's directed by George Miller, from that did movies like Babe and the Mad Max films. There's
actually some surprising ones in his filmography. He did Happy Feet, man. He directed.
Yeah, I forgot about Happy Feet. Yeah, but anyway, in this film, Tilda Swinton she's pretty much a storyteller. Mm-hmm. She's at this conference in the middle, somewhere in the Middle East, and she comes upon a lamp. The genie is inside, and from there, the genie pretty much tells. Genie's played by Idris Elba. Genie pretty much tells the tale of how he became entrapped in the lamp, and a couple of stories about him wanting to get his freedom, and his story about what's going on with him. Overall, I love this film. I wasn't really expecting anything, but since this was a George Miller film, I wanted to see it just because I'm that much of a fan of George Miller's. But overall, I really loved it. It's pretty much about storytelling. Kind of puts me in the mind of what how I felt when I read and also watched the Sandman series. Mm-hmm. It puts me in that kind of frame of mind, because it's more than just the one story that's happening in the present. You have a lot of stuff, a whole backstory about what the genie's been through and all that stuff. But I really love this film.
Yeah, I think that was the great aspect of it for me, was watching the jinn's story, and it goes from just him just being a regular jinn and how he gets trapped into the vial, you know what I'm saying, and how and it's crazy. The 3,000 years of longing represent the 3,000 years that he's been trapped in the bottle, and Swinton's character pretty much represents a way for him to possibly escape his genie curse. But what's great is most of the movie is just him recounting the lives that he's led, up to that point. And I think that's where the film shines for me. It's kind of like it's a blend. Like I think I wrote in my mini impression of it, I said it's a great blend of fantasy, of storytelling, of history, of mythology. And it's a romance story all blended into one, man. And I think they knocked it out of the park, man. Like I don't think it's perfect by any means. I think the end kind of stumbles a little bit, and then it kind of does a thing where it seems like it could have ended at 2 times before it finally comes to its conclusion. Like if I didn't see any more and they stopped it right there, like it would have been perfect, But it goes through a few more emotions just to make sure you understood, how they wanted to wrap it up. But
And this form of the genie story, the jinn story, he has to get 3 wishes to be free, to be set free. Mm-hmm. So it's just mishap after mishap of his, him being over that 3,000 year period.
And it's interesting how he deals with that, because I think in one of the previous times you could tell he's so anxious, because the initial imprisonment is probably the longest one. Yeah. And when he gets out of that, he's kind of desperate, and he jumps at this first chance, which causes things to go wrong. And it seems like by the time, we're dealing with Alethea's, turn, he's taking his time and just like, you know what? I'm not going to ruin this. Whatever happens. And in a way, he kind of settles into the fact that, 3,000 years, but I've got time. I'm infinite.
He's kind of impatient with her a little bit. They kind of get to understanding and kind of respecting each other by the time.
But you see, like it's funny you said that, because he does have a mini outburst in the beginning. Like you'll see that his robe is ripped, and I think at that moment he realized that he was kind of repeating what he did the time before when he was being anxious. So he's like, you know what? Yeah. Like, let me just relax and let's figure this out. But I thought it was a really good time, man. Like, I had a really good time with it. The special effects are great, man. The set design, the jumping back and forth through the different time periods. And like I said, I love when you're playing with mythology and history and these made up things, man. I thought it was great, man. Like it's just an interesting world. I mean, it kind of. I don't think it's going to happen, but it's almost like you want to see other stories that play out in this world that Miller created for this film. Because I mean, it's addressing the fact that we've got these beings, and there's little kids with hairy djinn legs running around. Like it's just So it's crazy, and I don't know, man. This is the kind of thing that I like to go to the movies for. Take me to a magical place, put me in a magical world, and I just can't believe that people do have some negative things to say about this, and I think it's just a matter of people bringing their own baggage to the film instead of just letting the film do what it really intended to do. And like I said, I think
watch a film that's presented to you instead of what you want it to be.
And I think the only thing that this film sets out is storytelling. Tell a good story, and I think it did a good job for me.